So it's been about a week since I let you all know that my van is potentially for sale. So, last week I made a video where I was talking about selling my van. Could it be a right time to sell my van? Would it be a good idea to sell my van and buy a new van? Could building a new van project be a tricky thing to do right now? Could it be done in a short time scale? Could it be done whilst things are unsteady in the country? Could I do it on minimal tools? Could I do it on materials that may be in short supply? Could I do it with recycled materials and also electronics that are sort of left over from recycling, reusing, and things that people have got lying around at home? So things happen fast in my world, I'll be honest. There's a lot going on up here. I don't know if that's some sort of ADHD type of thing, but things move quick. So as you may or may not know, I went to go look at a van, which turned out to be an absolute bag of spanners. Possibly the worst van I've ever seen in my life. Certainly the worst van I've ever seen in real life that actually looked really good in pictures. Not a straight panel. Not a straight panel on it. It had tons of filler. It had holes that went from the outside to the inside that you could stick your fingers in. So I thought, stuff that. I'm not buying that. I'm not going to take a risk. I'm not interested in buying a van that's going to be worse than the one I've got. So I declined that. Then somebody came out to have a look at my van, who was definitely interested in buying it. It was a dead cert to be sold to that person. And when that person came to look at my van, I was trying to be a salesman about it and talk about all the benefits and the things that I've done to it and the things that needed doing still and all that. And whilst I was saying all those things, I had massive second thoughts. Massive second thoughts. Like, when I think about how much work I've put into this, the last thing I want to do is get rid of it. When I think about all the things that need doing to it, it's not there's not anything major that needs doing to it, but there's lots of little niggly things that I've lived with for a while. The tap, for example, is something that I've lived with for a little while and only just fixed. The power steering, I've fixed it now, but that was like almost a year before I got round to fixing it. So all these things are little quirks that I know about and I'm happy to live with. But trying to sell that to somebody else was something that I wasn't comfortable with. But again, for the most part, it was when that person drove my van. I saw somebody else driving my van, saw it driving away from me, and my heart was a little bit broken by it. So then I spoke to that person later on in the day, and I think we both decided that the van was no longer for sale. I've had lots of offers since then, and honestly, I've not been sort of interacting too much with people that want to buy it because I have had second thoughts. Now, that doesn't mean it's not for sale as such, because everything's got its price, as we all know, but I just feel like right now there's just so much against, so many reasons not to sell. Now, I made a video about all the hateful comments that I got when I talked about selling it, and I want you to know that the negative feedback, the constructive negative feedback, was listened to, and comments like "better the devil you know than the devil you don't" really rung true. Like, I really took that in, and probably I probably listened to the negative comments more than the positive comments, because the positive comments were from people who are being supportive and just saying, yeah, go for it, and not really, probably just would rather support me than really think about the consequences or how hard it might be to actually do it. So the negative comments got read and listened to more, not the hateful comments. You guys are bananas. I am not messing with you guys, but the constructive negative comments were the ones that I really listened to. So right now the van isn't for sale. Right now I'm not looking for a new van. I would rather keep this van, keep the money that I've got in the bank, and float along and not have to spend any money. The other way around would have meant potentially buying a new van, which potentially might need more work doing, selling this van to then live in a van that's less than ideal, then probably drain my bank account of backup money, and then put myself in a vulnerable position financially. So keeping this van makes more sense. So I have decided loosely to improve this van. Now, I had another video planned where I was going to list all the things about this van that I didn't like and what I wanted to improve and change putting into a new van. But what I figured was that where possible, I am going to do all those improvements to this van, so that this van is my ideal van. It already is 90% ideal. It is just that there are a few things that I would like to change. I will make a separate video about that because I'll probably go on for a little while, but I'm going to try and improve this van. Now, I am probably going to be on the scrounger a little bit for something. Not necessarily for you to give me anything for free or to pay for anything for me, but I need some things that I cannot find, and I hope that you can help me find them, and obviously I'll pay for them. So I need a new sliding door. 2002 Sprinter, medium wheelbase, I need a sliding door. The bottom is rotten, the lock mechanism's not very good, and I just need a new one. So if anybody can find me a medium wheelbase Sprinter sliding door, I need one. I also need a passenger door. The bottom of the door is rusty. The lock mechanism on that isn't very good, so I might as well just buy a new one. I could probably get the bottom, the rusty bit repaired, but the lock mechanism's shit as well, so I might as well get that. So if anybody's got any of those things, or knows anybody who's breaking a Sprinter, I would be really appreciative of those two things. As for everything else, I sort of mentioned in my last video that I'm going to paint the van. My plan for at least 6 months now has been to paint it again a different colour. So that's still on the cards. I'm going to touch up some of the surface rust, fix that, and then I'm going to paint the entire van again. Probably going to paint it black, ready for summer, which is probably not the best, most sensible idea, but we'll see. So I'm going to buy 5 litres of black NATO paint and get it painted as soon as possible. As soon as the weather is stable enough, as soon as I've got somewhere to do it, that's going to happen. And then a few other improvements here and there. Really, I want to change the entire layout of the back, but it's not possible all in one go. So all the things that I've done to this van that I was happy with, I'm no longer happy with. Maybe I'm just bored and itching to do some work, but I feel like there's at least one thing that I'm going to change drastically to this van. And I will keep you updated on things, and hopefully you can help me with that and help me with some ideas. If you've got any ideas about changing the layout of this van that you think would be improved, let me know, because your feedback means more to me than anybody's. So if you could think of any cool ideas to do to the van to make it better, let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate that. Anyway, after the credits of this video, I put in some secret footage of some other things for you to watch, so don't turn off just yet. I'm gonna go. Really appreciate you all. You've all been brilliant, and you've made this lockdown period tolerable. I'll see you later. Bye, Felicia.